lucky or with myself. Okay, so I wanted to start off today's lesson by asking you guys a question, and I don't want you to rush into the answer. I want you to think about it a little bit. So this is my question to you, right? There are 26 sheep and 10 goats on a ship. How old is the captain of the ship? So think about it, and then you can put your hands up and you can tell me what you think the answer is.
Okay, there's Ayanda and Martinez hand.
Hang on a second, let's just. Okay, so Caleb, you had your hand up first. So awesome. Caleb, what do you think the answer is?
Is it 30?
Is it 30?
Yes.
Okay, so you think the captain of the ship is 30 years old?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so I'm just going to write that down here. So Caleb says the captain is 30 years old. All right, that's cool. Let's see what some other people are saying. Okay, thank you, Caleb. Rankhuato, how old do you think the captain of the ship is?
Well, since it says it has 26 ships, right?
Yes.
And 10 goats. How old is the captain, right? I say 12, which is my age.
Oh, you think that the captain is 12 years old? Okay, because that's how old you are. All right, cool, no problem. Next person is Ayanda. Ayanda, how old do you think the captain of the ship is?
Ma'am, 36, ma'am.
Okay, where did you get 36 from?
Ma'am, I added these numbers here, ma'am.
Oh, so did you add the 26 and the 10 together?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's how old the captain is. All right. Let's ask a few more people. Oh, I see there's something going on in the chat. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Manda agrees with you. Manda also says 36. So does Bulela. Okay. Always says 260. Can someone be 260 years old? Hey, Olwa, do you know people that are 260? I don't know anybody that's that old yet.
No.
No, me neither.
Yes,
So where did your answer come
They
from? That was
are.
200. They are? Really, Benolo? Who do you know that's 260 years old?
Times 10.
Ma'am, I don't know her name.
Oh, but she's definitely
but she's very old.
Okay, but is she 260?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yes,
she's very
ma'am.
lucky to be
Right
able
now
to
she's
be.
in hospital.
Okay, shame. But I mean, it's hard to be that old. I mean, that is a very, very long time to spend on Earth. Okay, let's take one or two more people. Poloko, I'm interested to hear how old you think the captain of the ship is.
Ma'am, I also agree with Ayanda, is 36.
Okay, all right. So Manda and Poloko have also said that you think that the captain is 36. Okay, last person I'm going to ask, Motibang. Motibang, how old do you think the captain of the ship is?
I'm agreeing with Ayanda, is 36.
You agreeing that it's 36?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's very, very interesting. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you the answer to this at the end of the lesson. And I'm going to let you guys think about it a little bit more as we go through what we're going to do today. Okay, all right, so today's lesson, grade 7s, is about adding integers. Now, the last time that we spoke about adding and subtracting integers, there were a lot of people who found this particularly difficult. So that's why it's something that I wanted to come back to in the holidays, because I think this is something that we all need a lot of extra practice with. Like I always say to you, not just now for grade 7, but going into grade 8 and beyond, being able to work with integers is really, really important. So if I say to you that we are adding integers today, I want you to tell me, What does that mean? What does it mean to say that we are adding integers? What are we doing? Can anybody explain that to me in simple language? Any hands up?
Yes, we have Ayanda's hand.
Lovely, Ayanda, thank you. What do you think it means, Ayanda?
Okay, the hand is down.
Okay.
Devang.
I think adding integers is when we add them to the right side.
Okay, so are you saying that adding means moving to the right?
Yeah, sorry, ma'am.
That's okay. That's all right. I need to know what you think. So I'm very glad that you're sharing your opinion with me. So that's really good. So are you saying that adding integers means moving to the right on the number line?
Well, not always.
Not
It
always.
happens, yeah,
Okay.
because of the positive and the negative.
I love your explanation. This is getting more and more interesting. Tell me more. So how do you know in which direction you're supposed to move?
Well, if you're adding two positives, it will still make a positive. And if you
Okay.
add two negative, I think when you add two negatives, you go to the left side.
Okay, so can you give me an example of adding a negative to a negative? Can you just give me an example of how you would do that? Like choose any integers and give me an example, and we'll do it on the number line.
Okay, ma'am. I will say -2 plus -3.
Awesome, I love that. So what does that mean to you? Where are you starting on the number line, Motibang?
Well, I think, well, may I explain this, ma'am? -2 plus
Please.
-3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, minusing I know that a positive and a negative, you turn it into a negative, so it's -2 minus 3.
Lovely, keep going.
So I start at -2.
All right,
then
there's -2.
Then I go 1, 2, 3, which will end at -5.
That is a really, really, really
Someone is
amazing
on fire.
explanation. Hey, isn't Motsibang amazing? Hey, you explained that, Motsibang, you know what I think? I think you explained that even better than I could. I think you should become one of the teachers here at Watobe. That was wonderful. Well done. I loved your explanation. And you know what would be amazing is if everybody understood integers the way that you have just explained it right now. That would be a really, really, really wonderful thing. Well done. I am so happy for you. Good job. All right. So I love Motibang's explanation. I don't know that I can improve on that. What I loved was when he said that you're adding integers, and then he said, that means that we're moving to the right. And he said, well, not always. Then I knew Motibang was onto something special. So in this particular situation, Motibang has given us an example of where we have added, but we've actually moved to the left. Can someone give me an example of where it's even easier than what Motibang's done? An example of where we are adding and we're going to move to the right. It's a little bit easier than what Motibang's done here. Let's see if there's someone else who can explain it as well as he is. Anybody else? Oh, Maset Shaba, did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
ma'am. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Maset Shaba, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm so glad you put your hand up. Please
Yes,
tell me what
ma'am.
please tell me what you're thinking.
I'm thinking we can say -9. -9 plus +2.
Wow, you guys are really good at this. I think I underestimated you completely. Okay, that is 100% correct. You are definitely understanding what it is that I'm trying to say. That's exactly it. So what you've done is you've chosen to add a positive number. So if you can explain to me like Motibang did. Motibang said that these two together became the minus. What do the plus and the plus together become, Masachaba?
I think it becomes a positive.
It certainly does. Wow, that is amazing. I think I'm going to have to make today's work much, much harder for you guys. So there we go. So it would do that. So where would you start on the number line, Masachaba?
On the -9.
Lovely. And in which direction are you going? To the left or to the right?
To the right.
Absolutely. How many places?
2.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, I am so super impressed. You guys are actually really, really good at this. Well done. Okay, now, Bonolo, I can see that your hand is up. Bonolo, would you like to try and do number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So question number 1 says, all right, sorry, you go, sorry.
Okay, ma'am. So it says find 10 on the number line. Move 3 spaces to the left. Where are you? So, ma'am, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna end at 7.
You're going to end at 7. Okay, so if you start at 10 and you move 3 spaces to the left, you're going to end at 7. If you had to write that as a number sentence, how would you write it?
As a number sentence, ma'am.
How would you write that? What you've just done now, how would you write that as a number sentence?
Ma'am, I'm not sure.
Okay, so this is what I mean, Bonolo. All right, so as a number sentence, you have done this. You've started at 10, you've taken away 3, and you ended at 7. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's a little bit easier than what you maybe thought. All right, well done, Bonolo. That's really lovely. Now, let's do number 2. Let's see who's got their hand up for number 2. Olwa. Okay, Olwa, go for it. You do number 2 first, please, Olwa.
It says find negative number on the number line. Move 5 spaces to the right. Where are you?
So where would I find -9 on the number line? Can you describe where it is to me?
It's on like the left. And
what's it between?
It's between I'm not sure where it's between.
Okay, so if I started at 0, let's pretend you need to give me directions. I'm standing here at 0, okay? And I need to move. Am I moving to the right or am I moving to the left?
The left.
Okay, and tell me how many footsteps do I need to move?
9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, am I in the right place now?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have identified, well, actually not we, you have identified that this is, sorry, beg your pardon, that this is -9, all right? So if I said to you between which 2 numbers is -9, you would say to me that it is between -10 and -8.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. What number, so is -10 bigger than -9, Olwa?
No.
No, okay, because why is it not bigger? 10 is bigger than 9, so why isn't -10 bigger than -9?
Isn't it because -10 isn't it because it'll get smaller if it's like going to the negative side?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the further away that we are from 0 on the left-hand side of 0, the smaller the number is, isn't it? So absolutely. So if I'm standing here at -9 and I go in that direction, numbers are going to get smaller because I'm further away from 0. All right, lovely explanation. That's really good. Okay, so let's go back and actually answer the question. We found -9. Now you need to move 5 spaces to the right. So where am I going?
So you're going to the right and you have to count 5 times.
Okay, so is this the correct direction?
Yes.
So that's 1,
1,
2,
2, 3, 4, and 5.
Lovely. Okay, good job. Well done. I love the way you answered those questions. That was really, really, really good. Okay, nice. Let's see who else has got a hand up at the moment. Mbali, that's so nice to hear from you, Mbali. Why don't you do number 3 for us, Mbali?
From number 3 on -9, you're on -11.
So now you need to tell me where to find -11, Mbali.
It is on the left side near 12.
Okay, so if this is 12 over here, where is -11?
On the right side.
Okay, so is it 1 to the right?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, good job. Okay, so we found -11. All right, now tell me what to do. You've got to move 3 spaces to the left.
We move 3 spaces to the left and it makes it -14.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3 places to the left. All right, nice. And now what do I need to do?
Then from -14, we move 10 spaces. Then it's -14. Newman, it's -4.
Okay, so in which direction am I moving now? Must I keep going in the direction I was, or am I going in a different direction?
In a different direction to the right.
Oh, okay, all right. So, and then how many places am I going now?
10.
Okay, what am I on?
4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Lovely. Okay, so I have ended at
-4.
Good job. Well done. All right. So yes, same answer as number 2, but quite by accident. The reason why I wanted to do questions like these with you is just to get us used to the idea that when we add and subtract, we are moving up and down on the number line. Okay, so it's really, really important that we understand that concept of adding and subtracting means moving up and down on a number line. When we add, we are moving to the right. Numbers are getting bigger. And when we subtract, we are moving to the left and numbers get smaller. Because you are now in grade 7, getting ready to go into grade 8, you're not always going to start at a positive place on the number line. So there are 4 sorts of situations that we can see here. Now, we had a lovely example of this, well, almost exactly this, from, sorry, I've forgotten your name quickly. Find you now. Masitsana, that was it. Okay, on how we could make sure that we were moving to the right on the number line. So this is the first situation you can have, grade 7s. You are starting in a positive place. That's what I've highlighted in pink. Okay, the operation in the middle, so this one over here, that tells us that we are adding. And then the next thing that's in brackets, the +3, that is the sign of the number that we are adding. All right, so we are adding +3. So let me highlight that as well. Okay, so in other words, we're starting in a positive place, we are adding, and we are adding a positive number. So that's why we would start here at 2, we would move 3 places to the right, and therefore we would end at 5. This is what we know from grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. This is what we've always been doing. But what we could have is a situation like what Matebang explained to us. We're not always moving to the right when we add. So here we are starting in the same place as the previous question. We are starting at +2. But now our operation asks us, our operation asks us to add, but instead we are adding, I'm just going to highlight the adding, so that's adding, so we're starting at +2, we are adding, now we are adding a negative number. All right, so now, even though we are adding, we are not moving to the right because, as Motabang explained so beautifully, when we add negative numbers, when a positive sits next to a negative sign, they have to combine into one. So when we add negative numbers, so here we go, let me just highlight it for you. When I add, there's me adding a negative number. Let me highlight the negative number. Come on, highlighter. I am in fact not moving to the right on the number line. Okay, I am starting at +2 and I am taking away 3. So I'm starting here, I'm moving 3 places to the left, and that's why I end up at -1. Okay, so that's what happens when we start in a positive place on the number line. We can do exactly the same thing, except that we can start in a negative place on the number line. And that's what I just wanted to talk about here. And then we're going to jump straight into some questions. So what's different here at C compared to what we were looking at A and B? Can anybody tell me what's different with question C? If I go back and I show you the others again. Okay, so there was A. All right, there's B. How is C different to those two? What's different here? Exactly, Patson. Okay, Patson, that's perfect, 100%. I don't know if the rest of you probably wouldn't be able to see what Patson said, but Patson said the -2. So what does that -2 mean then, Patson?
Ma'am, the -2, it means that like the 2, it's like it's a negative.
Okay,
And
so 100%, right? So if we now had to go and find that on, hang on a second, let's go and find it on a number line. Okay, where would -2 be on the number line?
ma'am, 2 places to the left before the 0.
Wow, you see now that's really great. Okay, so you've explained perfectly. So that is your starting point. So in questions A and C, well done, Patson, thank you very much. In questions A and C, our starting point was here, which is a positive place on the number line. But we could also start at a negative place on the number line and still add an integer. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at, okay, is that the first term, okay, this value over here, this is your starting place. Okay, it's where you are starting at on the number line. In this question, you are starting at -2. In this question over here, you are starting at +2. Okay, so it's 2 different starting places, right? Now, in C over here, we've started at -2 and we've added a positive number. So let me see who's got, that's fine, Takalani. It's really nice to have you here with us. Glad you joined us. Better late than never. Patson, do you want to explain how we get to the answer of 1 here? Go for it.
Okay, ma'am. So basically, you would see that the 2 plus signs, ma'am, they add to plus as well. So you're just adding the -3 times, which leads it to go to +1, ma'am.
Okay, so in other words, if we're starting at -2 and we add a positive number, the fact that we are adding a positive means that we are adding, and that means that we are moving to the right on the number line. Absolutely, and that's why we end up at +1. Good job, well done, 100%. Okay, now here's another situation where we are adding an integer, yet we are not moving to the right. Okay, we are adding an integer, but we are not moving to the right, we are moving to the left. Why is this happening? All right, so I'm going to see who else has got a hand up. Okay, Patson, you've got your hand, and Motiban. Okay, Patson, you had your hand up first. Go for it. Why are we adding and yet we are moving to the left? What's going on here?
Ma'am, it's because both of the numbers are negatives, ma'am.
Okay, so when you say both of the numbers are negatives, does that mean that you don't need to look at this one over here?
Which one, ma'am?
One that I've just highlighted in yellow.
No, ma'am, you still have to look at it, but like, if both of them are like the same units, like they're both negatives, ma'am, it makes sense that like you're also moving to the left because they're both negatives, ma'am. So that's how we got the answer.
All right, that's fine. Patson, don't go away. I just want to ask you a question. If I did this, if I said -2 -3, is that exactly the same as what I've got over here that I've just drawn a pink box around? Are these two the same?
No, ma'am.
They're not the same.
Wait,
okay.
wait.
Okay, now just have a look.
No.
Think about it. Are they the same?
I don't know, ma'am. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well, fine, not a problem. Let's see what somebody else says. Hang on a second. Let's see what somebody else says. Let's see who else has got a hand up. Ayanda, you've got a hand up. What do you think? Do you think these two are the same?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. All right. Well, what's different? How are they different?
Ma'am, because this is a 2 and a 3, ma'am.
Okay, but aren't they both the same then? I mean, here in the one with a pink box, well, the one on the left, I'm highlighting the -2. So here I've got -2, right? And here I've got -2. So those are the same. And then if I highlight what's in brackets over here, I've got -3. And then over here, if I highlight what's in brackets, I've got -3 as well. So are they the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the numbers are the same, but am I doing the same thing with the numbers? Is my operations the same?
No, ma'am.
Say that again, Ayanda?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, so what's the difference between the one on the left and the one on the right?
Ma'am,
the difference.
The one on the left is positive and the one on the right is negative.
Absolutely. Okay, so with the one that is highlighted in yellow, the one that you said is positive, what does the plus sign mean here? What does that plus sign mean?
Positive, ma'am.
Okay, but it actually means an operation. So it's telling you what to do. Okay, so it's telling you where to start, what to do, with what value. Okay, so in this situation over here, that plus is an instruction to add.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, does that make sense? And in
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same way, this one over here, that is an instruction to
Subtract, ma'am.
subtract, absolutely. Okay, so what we've got to be careful of, and this is where maths needs to say sorry to us, is that we use the same symbols for positive and negative as we do for plus and minus. So when we see plus, it has two meanings for us. Either it means add, or it can mean positive. And the same thing with minus. Okay, when we see that sign, it's either an instruction to tell us to subtract, or it's an instruction to, or else it means that something is negative. So how do we know the difference? All right, so this green minus that I put a ring around, how is that different to the minus that's sitting in front of the 2, or is it different? Bali, what do you think?
I think it's different because the minus in front of the 2 is a negative and the 1 after the 2 is a subtraction.
I agree with you, and I really like the way that you've said that. When it comes to maths, it doesn't really make that much difference, but I think it's really good that we think about things like that. So the minus in front of the 2 is an instruction on where to start. Okay, they've said to us from 0, we need to go 2 to the left. That's our starting place at -2. The next minus is an instruction on what to do. Okay, so are we adding, are we subtracting, or whatever it is? And then the next minus, the -3, that is the integer that we either need to add or subtract. So that's why I said that this lesson was going to be about adding integers, because we're talking specifically about adding, not about subtracting today, but we're talking about adding positive and negative numbers. So in this case over here, so the one where I'm drawing the purple block, the purple star next to it, we are adding a negative number, but we can also add positive numbers. All right, so in the case of this question over here, we added a positive number. We added a positive number. All right, so what I loved in the beginning was when Motebang said that just because we are adding doesn't mean that we are always moving to the right-hand side. It depends on what we add. So if we add a negative number, we are, sorry, I'm just trying to find my place here. If we add a negative number, we are moving to the left-hand side. Okay, if we add a positive number, then we are moving to the right. Okay, so similarly, let's just finish this off and then you guys can answer some of these questions. Here, the -2 is our starting place. Now, when we add -3, the plus is our operation, that's our add. The minus or the negative belongs to the 3. That's the value that I am adding. So it means I need to start at -2. And when I add negative numbers, I'm continuing to move to the left-hand side. So I am minusing 3, and that's why I'm going to end up at -5. Okay, all right, now let's give you guys some practice with these. What's going to happen now is Lucky and I are just going to be quiet for a little bit. And I'd like you guys to try and just work on your own. Okay, Inati, yeah, Inati, you've got your hand up. Do you want to ask a question, Inati?
No, ma'am. I just wanted to answer a question.
Oh, did you want to answer a question? Okay, maybe it's better for us to do it like that. I think you guys prefer answering the questions rather than working quietly. All right, that's fine. Let's do it that way. So, Inati, don't go anywhere. Inati, okay, if you want to, there's a number line here for you to use. All right, so please, before you answer a question, make sure that you've looked at the number line as well so that it's there for you. Okay, you can use that to answer your question. All right, so we're starting with Inati. Go for it, Inati. 1A. What would you get as an answer, Inati?
We'd get 10.
10, good. Okay, lovely. Next person, Bonolo. Go for it, Bonolo. Do 1B.
Ma'am, the answer is -4.
Lovely, Bonolo. Well done. The answer is -4. If I start at -8 and I'm +4, I'll get -4. Good job. Patson, you're next. Do 2A, please, Patson.
Ma'am, the answer is -5.
It certainly is. Good job. So these are really, really easy. Come, everybody put their hand up and have a go. Okay, if you don't normally put your hand up, why don't you just put your hand up just for a change and have a go? And you know what, even if you get it wrong, so what? It doesn't matter. We're not here to judge you. We're just here to have fun. Rankuato, go for it. What would you do for 2B?
At 17.
There we go. You see, look how clever you guys are. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay, Maset Shaba, your turn next. Go for it. You're going to do 3A, please, Maset Shaba.
It's -9.
Wow. Okay, I really need to make these a lot more difficult for you guys. 100%. Okay, Motabang, do 3B, please.
It's 19.
It's 19. Good stuff. Well done. All right. Oratile, go for it. Do 4A, Oratile.
Ma'am, it's 0, ma'am.
It is. Now, this thing, before you go away, Oratile, this thing over here has a name in maths, which I've spoken to you guys about before, but maybe you weren't part of our lessons then. I don't know. Do you remember what I said? Do you remember what name this has? Or maybe your teacher at school told you.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so this is called an additive inverse. Okay, so in maths, something like that is called an additive inverse. So where we are adding together two numbers and it gives us 0. So the numbers are the same, but their signs are different. Okay, so if I, for example, if I said 7 minus positive 7, that's also another example of an additive inverse. Okay, because it would give me 7 minus 7 and the answer would be 0. Okay, cool beans. Okay, must I make the number line bigger? All right, hang on 1 second. Is that better? So unfortunately, that kind of ends up jumping off the end here a little bit, but hopefully that's big enough for you guys. Sorry. Okay, where were we? Let me see now. Bonolo, you were next. Go for it, Bonolo. You're going to do 4B.
Ma'am, 4B, it's 9.
Good stuff. Well done. Okay, Ayanda, 5A.
It's -6, ma'am.
In 5A.
Oh, 5A, ma'am. It's 0, ma'am.
I'm so glad you got this. Well, that's not a nice thing for me to say, but I don't mean it in an ugly way. I'm glad you've got this wrong. Okay, because that gives us an opportunity to talk things through. Okay, where are we starting on the number line?
Beg your pardon, ma'am?
Where are we starting on the number line, Ayanda?
2, ma'am.
Okay, so am I starting here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but now have a look here. Maybe it's difficult for you to see. Maybe that's my fault. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Can you see that in front of this -2, or in front of this 2, there is a negative? Did you see that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So where are we starting on the number line?
-2, ma'am.
Good job. And then in which direction are we going? To the left or to the right?
To the left, ma'am.
To the left. Why are we moving to the left?
Because it's -2, ma'am.
Okay, because we are adding a negative number. Okay, so how many places to the left do I need to go?
3, ma'am.
3 places.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, maybe we're also looking at different things here. All right, but we're not going 3 places to the left. We are going
4.
2 places to the left. We're going to end up at -4. Okay, so we started at -2. When we add negative numbers, we are subtracting, and that's why we've got to end up at -4. I don't know how easy that is to see, but anyway, there we go. All right, good stuff, Ayanda. Well done. Okay, let's see who's next. Bonolo. Bonolo, go for it. Where were we? I think it's 5B, Bonolo. This one.
Ma'am, the answer to 5B is -14.
Good. Okay, so you started at -10 on the number line, you added a negative number, and that means you moved to the left. Good, Bonolo. Nice explanation. Let's do the next one. Patson, go for it.
Ma'am, the answer is +7.
+7. Okay, good job. You know what I think? I think that these are just way too easy for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them and we're going to go and do some that are a little bit more difficult. Okay, so let's do these rather, because you guys are eating these for breakfast. Okay, are you guys happy with that? We do something that's a little bit more challenging.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I think so too. All right, so the first few are still nice. The ones down below are a little bit more difficult. All right, let's do these ones. Okay, Rankuato, do number 1.
Well, we start at -7. We move 3 places to the right, and we're gonna end up at -4.
Okay. Why did you choose to start at -7?
Because we adding, is it 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 3. We add -7. So as I know, when we add, like, I made it like the -7 go at the front of the 3.
Okay. So are we allowed to do that in maths? Are we allowed to switch things around?
As far as I know, no.
Okay. No. Okay. Well, to be honest with you, okay, I tell you what, let's have a conversation about this. Okay. Let me just move over to the right-hand side. I'm going to ask you guys a question here. Okay. If I do this and I say -7 plus 3, or over here I say +3 minus 7, am I going to get 2 different answers? Inati, what do you think? Am I going to get 2 different answers?
No, ma'am.
No. Why am I not getting 2 different answers, Inati? Why is it the same?
Because I can't explain.
It is difficult to explain these things, isn't it? All right. And you're quite right. We are going to get the same answer. Now, the reason that it's not any different is because when we have written number 2 from number 1, can you see how we kept the sign of 3? So we didn't change that, right? And it's the same thing with the 7. We kept the sign of the 7, right? We didn't change that. So because we didn't change the signs of these numbers, where we start, how much we move, and where we end up is going to be the same. So in this case, we're both going to end up at -4, all right? But what happens sometimes with us in maths is we do things like this. So if I decide that I'm starting at -5 and I am plussing 2, if I want to change the order and I say now I'm starting at -2 and I'm plussing 5, is that going to be the same? What do you think, Inati? Is it going to be the same?
Ma'am?
So over here, I've written a number sentence at number 3 and a number sentence at number 4. Are those the same?
No.
No.
Okay, why not? Why are they not the same? What's the answer to number 3?
Number 2. No. Oh, they are the same.
They are the same. Okay, so what's the answer to number 3 then, Inati?
-2. It's -3.
For the first one, for number 3, the answer is 3.
Yes.
Okay, does that mean +3 or -3?
-3.
-3, okay, but now is +3 and -3, is that the same number?
No.
Okay, so are you saying that the answer for number 3 is +3?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we'll leave that as it is for now. Okay, and then what's the answer for the second one?
Oh, madam, I switched them up. Number 3, it's -3.
Okay, so you're saying that this now should be negative, all right, no problem. And then this one over here in number 4, what should be the answer here?
+3.
+3. All right, good job. Okay, so now what I'm trying to get at here, grade 7s, is this, all right? The way in which, I can't remember who it was it Retu? Who, just help me here, please, Lucky. Who did number 1? Can you remember?
No. Let's see. It was, I'm checking here. Was it Uratile?
Ma'am, it wasn't me.
Oh, it was Ranjuato. That's it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now the way in which Ranjuato decided to answer question number 1 was unusual because she started with -7 when she really should have started with 3. But the way in which she combined the two numbers together gave her the correct answer because she kept, let's just go back there, sorry, because she kept the 7 as the minus and the 3 as the plus. So Ranjuato, what you did there was okay. But if you changed the sign of the 7 or you changed the sign of the 3, all right, then you would have ended up with the wrong answer. Okay, and that's what I was trying to show you here in number 3 and number 4. Okay, so in other words, -5, starting at -5 and plussing 2 is not the same as starting at -2 and plussing 5. But starting at -7 and plussing 3 is the same as starting at +3 and minusing 7. Okay, so you can swap them around, but you've just got to make sure that you keep the signs. Okay, obviously if there are negatives and we are subtracting, then things will start to get a little bit more complicated. We can't do that. We can only work from left to right. Okay, so let's go back here and try and get as many of these answers as we possibly can. Let's see if we can do some of the more difficult ones. So I'm thinking what we should do is maybe start at number 11. Let's see who's got it. Anybody got a hand up? Oh, it says there are 9 hands up. Nombuso. Fabulous. What would you do in number 11, Nombuso?
You can unmute Nombuso.
Can't see number 11. Nice
Ma'am.
There it is. Want me to get the number line? Okay, let me just go and grab it.
The number line.
Put it over here. Hang on 1 second.
Ma'am, it's negative.
Negative?
So it's -4 plus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you're doing number 11, hey?
Number 8. No. Ma'am, I don't get it.
What don't you understand?
Me too, ma'am.
Okay, what don't you understand?
Ma'am, they said -4 plus -8 plus 11.
Yes. So what don't you which part do you not understand?
When they say I'm plus -8, and then I was also plus 11.
Okay.
How should I do it?
Okay, all right. So this is what you're supposed to do, all right? When you have got an operation and a sign sitting next to one another, they have to combine into one sign. So in other words, what I'm referring to is that this plus and this minus that sit next to one another have to become one sign because we can't move to the left and to the right. We can either only move to the left or to the right. So this is what we need to know and what we need to understand. It's what we've been talking about this lesson, is that when we add negative numbers, those two together become a minus. We are actually subtracting. So what you're supposed to do in question number 11 is this. You are starting at -4 on the number line. Then they ask you to add -8, and then they ask you to add 11. These two signs have to simplify first. So that means we're starting at -4. When we add negative numbers, we are subtracting. And then once we finish doing that, we need to plus 11. Now we're going to go to the number line. We are going to find -4. Here it is over here. So that's my starting place. Now I have to move 8 places to the left. Okay, because I'm minusing 8. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places to the left. Now the question says to me, change direction. Okay, because now you're going to plus. Okay, how much are you going to plus? 11. So now I'm going to change my direction. I'm going to go back the other way. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where am I now on the number line?
Minus.
I'm now at minus
-1.
That's it, -1. That's my answer. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get you to do. That's right, Hermione. That's right, Ntiso. Okay, does that make sense now, everybody? That's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now we've only got a few minutes left. Let's try and do some of these difficult questions. Okay, let's do number 13. Let's see who's got a hand up. Someone who hasn't gone before. Oratile, why don't you do number 13 for us, Oratile?
Ma'am. Ma'am, we're gonna start at -4.
Beautiful, Oratile. Let me find -4 for you. Okay, we're starting at -4. Lovely. And then which direction are we going?
Right.
Absolutely. How much?
6.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've gone 6 to the right. Now what direction am I going?
Left.
How much?
3.
Where am I ending?
-1.
Lovely. Good job. Okay, very nice. Well done. That's lovely, Oratile. Okay, Ntiso, let's do number 15 together. Okay, Ntiso, 15, please.
Miss, I did number 20.
You did number 20, fine, no problem. Tell me what to do in number 20. Where are we? What are we doing?
I didn't use the number line.
Okay, that's fine. What did you get as an answer then?
I got 12.
You got 12. Good job. Okay, because that gives you what, Ntiso?
It gives me 0.
It gives you 0. Good. Okay, it's an additive inverse. That's lovely. Well done. Okay, let's see if we can do one more and then Fundiswa. Okay, so Fundiswa, why don't you pick one and do that for us? Which one do you want to do, Fundiswa?
This one?
Fundiswa?
It's gone.
Is Fundiswa gone?
Yeah, I think Fundiswa is gone.
Okay, that's fine.
Ayanda is already.
Okay, if Fundiswa is gone, that's fine. Takalani, choose one.
Ma'am, I done 14, ma'am.
Okay, what did you get as your answer to 14? Did you use the number line?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what did you do in number 14, Takalani?
Ma'am, so I started at +1.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, then I went to the I moved to the left.
Yes. How many?
Ma'am, 4 times.
Okay.
Ma'am, and then I got 5.
You got 5.
Oh, ma'am, I made a mistake.
Okay, all right, but what you were saying was correct. But then when you said your answer, that was you moved in the opposite direction. Because if you start at 1 and you move 4 places to the right, you would end at 5. But you said that you started at 1 and you moved 4 places to the left, which is correct. Okay, so if you start at 1 and you move 4 places to the left, where should you be? You should be at?
3, ma'am.
At -3. Okay, because you're starting at 1 and you're moving 4 places to the left. Can you see what I've done here in pink?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and now what do you have to do after that? You have to?
Add 10.
Add 10. So when you add 10, which direction are you going in?
Ma'am, to the right.
Okay, so am I going to go to -4 next, or am I going to go to -2 next?
Ma'am,
so from -3, must I go to -4 or must I go to -2? Which direction?
ma'am, -2.
Good, and I'm going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 places to the right. Where am I going to end up at?
+7.
Lovely, good job. Okay, now, unfortunately, yes, Fanola, we've got the quiz today. That's all that we've got time for now, because you guys need to go and do the quiz. Well done. I really just wanted to spend some time with you today talking about adding integers and whether that means that we're moving to the right or to the left and just becoming more comfortable with that. You guys have done super, super well. I'm very pleased. Okay, good job, grade 7s. I hope you enjoyed your lesson. Oh, and before we go, hang on a second. I had to tell you the answer to that.
Answer, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, remember the question that we had at the beginning. All right. Okay, so we'll just talk about this quickly and then you guys are going to go. Would you believe that there is no answer?
Huh? Yes, ma'am.
For real, there's no answer. Do you know why there's no answer? Because they haven't given us enough information. By telling us that there are 26 sheep and 10 goats on a ship, that doesn't give us any information about how old the captain is. So the answer to this is there is no answer. What do you think of that?
Yes,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am, I think I got it now. I understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was a crazy question. All right, there was no answer. And that's unfortunately what school does to us, is it makes us think that there's sometimes an answer for everything. But in fact, in life, there isn't always an answer for everything. Okay.
Ma'am, it's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. Thank you, Polo.